This show is sponsored by PaidToPlayToday.com. Start living life to the fullest. Get a free basic membership at PaidToPlayToday.com.
Coming at you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. Pay to Play TV, episode 16, Marketing, your greatest sales secret. And now a man who is so hard to schedule time with, it's like playing a blindfolded, dizzy game of darts. Garrett J. White.
Welcome to Pay to Play TV. My name is Garrett J. White, the authentic entrepreneur. Now here's the deal. Welcome to episode number, take a guess, take a gander, take a poke at it. It's not 192, not 785, not 742,000. Number 16. Excited here to talk to you today about the greatest sales secret of all time, sort of. Was that enough anticlimactic buildup? We're going to jump right into the content because one of the things we're doing right now on the show is we're going to start compressing time. I'm going to start giving you more content more quickly, more efficiently. Doesn't mean we're not going to screw around and have fun with Adam. By the way, if you want to see Adam totally nude with a Nacho Libre hat on, go back and watch episode number 15. Not totally nude, but you wouldn't be able to tell because you can't see him from the down. Anyways, are you okay with him seeing that? You're okay? Okay, good. Let's move on. Here's the deal. I'm going to bring in my magic deal. When we bring in guests, we have a gong. Dong, we do the gong. When I don't have a guest on the show, which is happening quite often recently because we're shrinking the show, not enough time for guests, we're going to get right to the content. I get to use the power snap. Are you ready for the snap? Get ready. Watch it. It's going to come quickly. That's what I'm talking about. See, we don't just play around with gongs around here. It's the power snap. So we're going to deal with our first principle today around the greatest sales secret of all time. Sort of. And we're going to talk about it in three key principles. First principle we're going to discuss is attracting customers versus chasing customers. Here's the deal. You and I have all been in the situation in our business in which time you have been the the annoying. Procrastinating would be the opposite. The annoying guy that nobody wants to talk to. Now, this typically happens to network marketers because network marketers are told that everybody in the world is a prospect. Now, imagine if your dentist showed up like that. Like every day at the barbecue or the family party, you walked around with a little flashlight and wanted to check in your mouth. Let me see what plaque is going on there. Yeah, you should probably come down and get your mouth checked out. The reality is doctors and dentists don't chase clients. Some network marketers do. The ones who get it don't. And people in business in general, when it comes to the conversation of sales, the people who absolutely crush it are the ones who don't chase their clients. Now, this creates a problem though. If you're not going to chase your client, how in the world are they going to find out about you? Well, here's what I found. When you're in the game of marketing, you don't know how to market, you're not sure who to market, you're not sure you're marketing to, you don't know what the problem is that people are solving or you're solving for other people, you don't know how your product aligns with them, and you get into this twisted belief that everybody you talk to is a potential client. Wrong, that's not true. It's not true because if everybody was a client and everybody would buy from you, and that's the crazy part is that they don't. Most people don't want what you have to offer them, but you don't need everybody to want it. You just need a small percentage of the population of this planet to want what you want. There's 6 billion people for crying out loud. How many clients do you need, huh? You need like 10 billion? No, you need a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand. So the game then is to create a model through your marketing that has people come to you, because when they come to you, you are considered an expert. When you are chasing them, you're a psycho, and people put out restraining orders. So the question is, what is your marketing model doing right now in order to bring traffic to you versus have you as a crazy lunatic, possibly with your shirt off or possibly naked, running down the road after them? That doesn't work. Let's move to principle 2 here in the greatest sales secret of all time, sort of. Number 1 was stop chasing your clients. You're a stalker. Figure out how to market to them in places and spaces in which they hang out so they will come to you. Quit being this guy and become this guy. Ding. Second principle. Hold on, I'm going to bring out the power snap. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, so as we come, my little elves, my little gnomes, you know the guy from Travelocity, the little gnome, he works for me. He works actually here at Pay to Play TV. He was supposed to flip the page. He didn't flip the page, so I'm gonna flip it for him. Principle number 2 then is that we find people who don't need to be sold. You need to find people who don't need to be sold. Here's the biggest problem. You become a crazy chasing lunatic, that guy, when you were trying to sell people. So let's move this out of here back over to the Gnomeville. Here's the deal. You've got to find people who don't need to be sold, which means people who are deeply in pain, and or in deep, I gotta have your stuff. Got that? Or that guy or that gal. The person who absolutely knows they want what you're offering. So the first principle was quit chasing people, you're a stalker. Start getting people to come to you, and all of a sudden you go from to. The second principle is then find people who don't need to be sold. People who are in pain with the current situations of their settings, whether it's marriage, whether it's their relationships, whether it's money, whether it's their body. If you're in a place of pain, you will absolutely get people to a place in which you don't have to sell them. You offer up the benefits, you offer up the opportunity, you extend the invitation, and they either take it or they don't. Now you can use the keys of influence in order to get them into a deeper place with that. But nonetheless, talking to someone who already knows they've got a problem is very different than trying to convince somebody they have a problem. I had this conversation here a few years ago. There was this gal, she was about 120 pounds overweight. I sat down with her, I said, listen, do you realize you're overweight? She said, of course I realize I'm overweight. I said, okay, fantastic. A couple weeks after I met her, her doctors came to her and said, listen, here's the deal, just so you know, you're gonna die in the next 4 months if you don't lose weight. She came back to me again, told me what the doctor said, me thinking, hey, this might be motivation, she might wanna lose weight. I came to find out that she still didn't care. Now, I could have talked all about cleansing. I could have talked all about fitness. I could have watched The Biggest Loser on television all day long. I could have done all these different things, but the reality was she was going to be impossible to what? Sell. It's kind of like trying to sell me on health pills and you're overweight. Don't try to do that. That's not going to work out for you, right? Or trying to sell me on the concept of making money. Somebody came to me one time and said, Garrett, but if you step into this opportunity, you could make like $3,000 a month. I was like, dude, do you not get that's like my car payment? That was what happened. That was like 4 years ago. I was like, hello? Your realm of money is very different, which means to try to get me to buy into what you're saying, you're going to have to try to sell me. The goal here is to find people who are in pain, who need what you're offering. For example, when I didn't know how to market online, was I a willing buyer? Yes. So if you could market to me, I came running at you as an expert trying to throw money at you and shove it down your throat. Please help me. Now people do that for us. So, hey, it's good. Time turned and things change. All right, principle 3, you ready? So the first one is, ding, become an expert by drawing clients to you. Second is, you become an expert and you don't have to sell. If you become the crazy guy, people run from you and you have to sell and chase him and last within a bound with a rope and try to run away from him like a bull. I don't know. Principle number 3 then, coming at you of the greatest sales secret of all time, sort of. Okay. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you serious? We're going to fire this gnome, this troll, whoever it is. We're hiring the Geico lizard now, or the caveman. Maybe a caveman can do it, because obviously the Geico gnome can't get this, or the whatever. The Travelocity gnome can't pull this off. Let's move to principle 3 to wrap up our show today. Mediocre messages to red-hot clients are very different than red-hot messages or sales presentations to indifferent prospects. Okay, let me define this a little bit better. Here's the deal. When it comes to offering up your product, service, and experience, the minute you start to believe that everybody is a prospect, you're done. Why? Because you become this guy. And in that same space, instead of attracting clients to you and being the expert, you also find yourself in a position in which you're having to try to tackle people and sell them. And in the tackle people and sell them, you're viewed as a suspect and people want to get away from you. In the second game too, one we just talked about, guys, in getting to a place of your message, you could have the greatest sales presentation in the world. You could have the greatest messaging, scripting. Someone could write out your presentation perfectly and give it to the wrong person. It doesn't matter. If I go talk to my 3-year-old daughter and I talk to her about the benefits of physical exercise, and I said, listen, there's these little things inside of you called mitochondria. And when you drink this juice, it empowers the mitochondria to increase more power. And then you take these pills and you do this. All of a sudden, your body is going to become more powerful and more light. You need to go to the chiropractor and get aligned. And my daughter's a give her a rip. Now, if I offer up my daughter and I say, listen, if you go clean up your room, you get 3 Otter Pops. Ding. All of a sudden, I become an expert. And I'm not this guy having to chase you down. There's no sales involved there. Trying to sell my daughter in the concept of eating her beans, that's being a salesperson. Putting my daughter in a place in which I'm offering up Otter Pops, I'm not a salesman anymore. I'm God's gift to the world for my daughter in that moment, and I am the provider of something that she wants. I have a product, Otter Pops. She has a desire. Do I have to sell her? I mean, have you imagine this? Maybe your kid's crazy or my daughter's crazy. I don't know. Have you ever imagined a child where you pulled Otter Pops out and you actually had to try to convince them to have an Otter Pop? I've never had to convince my daughter one time. If anything, I have to hold her back from having them. So if you were to build a business like the king of Otter Pops, I don't know if his name was Otter and he was the pop, and so they called it Otter Pop. I don't really know how that came about. All I know is they're doing a great job in what they're doing there. They don't have to market the game because we run to buy it. So the game then for you is to figure out in your business, how in the world can you create marketing systems that bring people to you so you can be a ding expert instead of a crazy stalker. Got it? Principle 2 is in that same space that when it comes to selling, only crazy stalkers have to sell. Experts get to give advice. And giving advice is much more profitable than being the stalker, and a whole lot less lawsuits and restraining orders. Third principle we're talking about then is that a mediocre message, meaning you can have an average message marketed to people who are red hot. Here's a marketing pitch I give to my daughter. Who wants an Otter Pop? Room! Kids are running into the room. Otter Pops are alive. Now, vice versa, a mediocre message or a fantastic message offered up to a indifferent audience. For example, taking the Otter Pops to the senior retirement center. Hi, I got Otter Pops. Probably not going to work out so well. And then I'm going to have to become this guy. And last time I checked, being this guy in the senior retirement center ain't going to work out so well. So, my name is Garrett J. White. I am the Authentic Entrepreneur. This has been episode number 16 here at Authentic. No, not Authentic Entrepreneur TV. Not anymore, because we're teaching you how to get paid to play. If you haven't checked out your free membership, do it today. Jump on to paidtoplaytoday.com and you'll get to see more of me. If I've totally, horribly offended you, we'd ask you to pass this message along to people who actually enjoy me, who are your Otter Pops. If you're not my Otter Pop client, that's okay anyways. Love you too. Have a great day. Ching!